Namaste, you are watching Epson News and I am Riya Padidar.
And this is Shreya Pandey. As it said, wellness is a state of mind and health is a state of being today. Today we are having our special guest with us, Mrs. Tapti Roy Yadav. Ma'am.
Hello everyone.
Ma'am, you are wholeheartedly welcome on Epson News. Ma'am, as you know that the stress is one of the major concern of today's time and our youth is facing that. Ma'am, please tell us the various remedies to eradicate that such problems.
See, if you observe the youth, it's not the stress that is the problem. It's basically overload of information that is causing a lot of confusion that ultimately results in indecisiveness and that creates stress. So basically the youth has to learn how to keep check on information loading.
Okay.
That for that you have to be very selective, right?
Yeah.
Do you drive?
No, I don't.
You don't. But have you seen people driving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When they drive in traffic and there is a lot of vehicle in line, then one person, the one who is on behind the steering wheel, has to keep calm, keep check, wait, let the vehicle pass by, and then drive on the route that was pre-decided. You just don't drive behind vehicles. Wherever they are reaching, you also go along with them and you reach somewhere. It's not like that.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So youth has to learn to be calm and systematic and comprehend the information that they are getting, which coincidentally youth fails today. You use WhatsApp?
Yes, ma'am.
You also do that?
Yeah, I do that.
So right from the morning till evening, you get hundreds of messages. One would say, it's okay to be alone. The other would say, why are you alone? The third might say, make friends, be in a group. The fourth might say, groups are useless. Now by the time you are at home, you come to decide what do I need to do. You are not able to decide upon, do you need friends? You do not need friends.
We need.
So what the youth does ultimately, she loves me not. You keep on plucking the petals.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm having a question. Like nowadays, people are into this anger issues. Some having the solution, doing long walks and hanging out alone in a park is the perfect solution for solving the anger issues.
Anger issues, see, anger is basically what? It's an unexpressed emotion. Anger is a type of emotion, right? Other than melancholy, that is being sad, or the mood wherein you want to cry, mostly in clinical terms it's depression. Other than depression, all other emotions can be constructive. So if somebody has anger, that technique is to convert it into say zeal to achieve something. Those who are angry are categorized as type A personality, right?
Yes,
yeah,
And
exactly.
type A personality will always be high on energy. They would always be running after their goals. They want to achieve everything possible in this world. They would be adventurous also. But then the flaw side is they'll be angry. They'll be short tempered. They do not know how to use that emotion constructively. So, and then if somebody is angry and not aggressive, that is, if you're not hitting or injuring someone physically, till that time, people seriously do not take it very, to the heart, and they do not put a full stop. People do not understand. When I talk of people, I'm talking of the other party, right? Upon whom the anger is being shown or anger is being taken out. The other party also has to know and draw that line that beyond this, if you show your anger, like beyond this, if you are belittling me, then that is mental abuse. So that kind of anger is not acceptable.
True.
Right. So if I suggest youth should come up with very steady plan how they can use their energy to achieve their goal, and most often I do suggest, like, use your energy, pent up or boiled up energy, in something that is physical and constructive. Like you can clean your room, you can organize your things, you can sort of go for a walk is a very good idea actually.
Smart.
When you walk, I'll tell you the mechanism behind it. When you walk, you are taking your step forward, right? So your thought
Yeah.
process also moves forward. So while you're walking, you keep planning your whole day. Anybody who has this, frequent anger issues should make it a habit to walk every day to some length. Walk briskly, just stroll. Put all your energy into it. Move your hands along with your legs. Walk and plan your day. So that would save a lot of issues at work front or a lot of issues with your friends. So youth would get less entangled into fight and be more focused into plan.
Fair enough.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as you know that the technology is updating day by day, and it's a good thing. But on the other hand, people are becoming so addicted that they are using it overly day to day. Ma'am, please tell our youth not to be a social addict so that they can focus more on towards their career.
See what's happening, being addicted is basically any damn thing you take. When do you say you are addicted? When there is an impulse that push you compulsorily to do that act, right?
Yeah.
True.
It could be craving for tea. It could be craving for some unprescribed drugs. It could be for, it could be also craving for a friend, special friend. It could be craving for a particular TV show.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Same way, it's a craving to check the cell phone.
Yeah.
Right now, you cannot live without that, but you can always make a strategic use of it. So, if you write down, if everybody who is right now in young adulthood, if they make it a practice to write down what next, what am I going to do tomorrow, and what I am going to do every day. So, when your days are packed with activities, you certainly do not get much time to scroll through your cell phone.
Yeah.
True.
Right, and that craving, the minute, if suppose in your to-do list there is a task like today I'll have to talk to general manager of this company, so you pick up your cell, scrolling the number, and you say that pop-up message. So you instead of going to the contact list and finding out the number and make contact with the general manager, what do you do instead? You look at the message that has been popped out first.
Exactly.
Right.
We do. Exactly.
So the best thing is switch off all those pop-out messages. Notifications mute.
D&D.
So then the cell phone would not guide your life. It's you who would guide the cell phone how to be of your use.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. That's good.
Ma'am, I'm having a very important question. Like, this is the thing people are facing. How to cope up with the relationship problems and how they should focus on their career instead of being indulged in these relationship problems.
Relationship is never a problem. Okay, relationship is something we crave for, something we look forward to.
Exactly.
Relationship is something to enjoy. It gets converted into a problem when it demands a lot more than we are capable of giving. Right?
Yeah.
So youth today has to, as I told you, has to very strategically schedule what to do, how to do, why to do, where to go, when to go, whom to go. There are certain questions. Every day, if each of you ask this question to your own self and make that very prominent list, this person I'm going to meet today, this person needs my attention. I cannot be coming to a person just because there is a phone call like, baby, I need you types. So, if you are very clear, like I'm not available at this particular time because I have my classes to attend, that projects you as ambitious. And if that friend is so very deary, then they should understand that ambition is more important.
Okay, sure.
Right? But before that, the person who is facing this confusion and trauma, like how to divide my time, has to understand what is more important, the goal, ambition, the friend, and what time should I give. Like there is a very simple formula you must have seen, you must have come across, because many people nowadays are very aware of this kind of strategies. Like it's 8 plus 8 plus 8 formula for the day.
Okay.
8 for priorities, like you're a student right now, so the priority is college and college timings and studies. If somebody is into working, if they are intern or something, so the priority list would be, first state would be going to the office, doing their task. Next state is for your own self growth. Then there comes a 8, which has to be again divided by 3 plus 3. Sometimes you give time to friends, sometimes you give time to family, right?
Yeah, right.
And you also need some time for your own self, for daily course, for developmental schemes, any other thing. So 8 plus 8 plus 8. So divide your day in 3 different chunks. Every day there will not be conflict, any sort of conflict anywhere. Boss will be happy, wife will be happy.
Yeah, ma'am, that's good strategy. Ma'am, my next question is, as parents are the one of the major important factor of today's life. So, ma'am, our youth is becoming so irresponsible towards them. Ma'am, will you please tell our youth not to be irresponsible towards our parents and focus on more towards them?
See, we cannot blame the youth altogether, right?
Yeah, right.
It might hurt a lot. It might find, you may find it very like kind of a tagging kind of statement, but then the youth cannot be blamed altogether. Point is, there everybody is busy. So those newly made parents, those parents, those who are young parents, have young kids and all, they're all working, they don't have much time, they have their own priorities set. So when the child, a very young child, when they come to show and share their achievement and happiness and all, if the parent doesn't have time, then what happens is the child learns indirectly. The child learns that it is not important to be present in the moment. Some task can be shown or shared later. Now this very child, when he grows up to the age of 20-25, obviously the parent has now reached the age of 50-55 maybe. So now the parent expects, whatever you are achieving or whatever your plans are, please come and share. The child would be like, later. So that later sounds like
Goes on.
disrespect, right? Earlier when the parent said later, that sounded like concern but so pressed and not having time. But when the child says later, it sounds like disrespect. So the balance has to come from there. So right parenting should take place first, and then of course to all the youth I would like to tell that take care of your parents, because it's not necessary that if something had been done wrong to you, you should also be adopting the wrong. Things can be corrected, because if your parent did not get time for you and you're not giving time to your parent, your child is observing the same, and then you won't be getting time. So who is at loss? The middle generation?
Exactly.
They did not get time from parents, they will not get time from kids. So who has to change? The young. So that's why I always suggest you that it's you who can make changes, so make change.
Sure.
Okay, ma'am, sure.
Ma'am, I'm having a very important question that is related to me also. What is the secret ingredient of happiness? Like, what is the exactly secret ingredient of happiness? Like being alone or being in that place where you find joy and happiness?
Have you ever filled a bottle with water or maybe with some other thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Stones, sands,
Many
any
times.
such thing, right? When it comes to fill something in some other thing, maybe water in a bottle, so we try to make that flow very narrower, or maybe we use funnel so that it should not spill outside. But you're supposed to fill the bottle with some solid objects which will not go far away, or maybe you can fill it properly. You fill it with full pressure and it's a speedy movement. So before you decide what is to be filled, you also have to decide inside what, right? So how much of space is there, how much of opening is there? A bottle with a broad mouth or a bottle with a narrow mouth? You'll have to decide and assume, or maybe analyze that opening. So when it comes to happiness, where it is to be filled? In your heart, of course.
Yeah,
so
of
how much
course.
space is there?
Okay.
So create that space. So if you have already filled a lot of grudges, unhappiness, complaints, regrets, then there is no space left. You can feel very little. So you'll have to first get rid of those negative feelings, negative emotions, so that your heart has plenty of space. So if your hand is, if your hands are full with stones, where would you keep those precious gems? So you'll have to empty your hand every day. So the secret to remain happy forever is keep cleansing. When you buy new clothes, you make space in your wardrobe, right?
Exactly.
When you read new books, whichever age you are, whichever class you are, you won't remember everything that was taught to you in your kindergarten, in your primary classes.
Yes, ma'am.
You let go of certain things. So when it comes to happiness, you let go of certain things so that there is space inside. So everyday cleansing.
Okay. But ma'am, as you said that let go everything. But ma'am, sometimes it becomes so difficult for human to let go some feelings like emotions that we have. So ma'am, how we can do that? We should eradicate such problems. Like we have many problems in our day-to-day life.
I tell you a big thing. It's never difficult to let go of things. Because humans are made in a way that you cannot remember everything. The more intelligent you are, the more forgetful you are. Because if you do not forget, there are no new information stored. So human beings, by instinct, are made in such a way that they forget. Okay. Now what we do instead is, the minute we see some of a friend who has hurt me, past year, the minute I saw, or the minute I, cross paths, the first thought that would come is, okay, so this guy has done this to me last year. Now this year he hasn't done anything. Or maybe yesterday somebody has hurt you, today up till now he has not. But you cannot get over yesterday's pain. So every time you remember the name, you also remember the pain.
Yeah, that's we have a flashback.
So you're not letting go of it and assuming that it's very difficult to let go of. It's easy to let go of. It's difficult to hold.
It is.
Okay.
True, ma'am. Here the conversation ends with our guest, wellness coach Dr. Tapti Roy Yadav, ma'am. For more such updates, keep watching EPSA News. Thank you.